struggle with the truth of who he is. This is a fallen soldier, but a soldier who was victorious against this battle. No? My dear friends, I would like to call on stage our very good friend, Muriel Pigao. Pakinggan natin ang kanyang istorya.
Thank you, Father. I am Muriel Pigao. I'm Singles for Christ, serving in Singles for Christ Kingdom of Bahrain. All what Father said were true. All the 17 years that I was serving SFC, way back in Manila and all the way to Bahrain, the devil made me believe that sex was only made for pleasure, and that sex, he confused me since I was young. He confused me in a way that sex is not a beautiful thing. It was only made for pleasure. He confused me basically of the beauty of sex. Brothers and sisters, at the age of 5, I had my first sexual encounter. Not with a girl, but with a 7-year-old boy. I grew up seeing my pictures dressed in as a woman, as a girl, as a pretty girl, and I also had a home where in the drawer of my dad were pornographic movies and Betamax tapes, porn, X-rated Betamax tapes. So at the same time, during my puberty, I remember having crushes with my male classmates, and I even became popular in school because I used to invite my classmates, my peers, to watch porn movies in my house. So, but my sexual wrongdoing really became full-blown when I graduated from college. That was the time that I had boyfriends. That was the time that I had serious gay relationships. And during that time that my lifestyle was flourishing, that was the time that internet came, wherein I used to have eyeballs with my male chatmates and have sex with them. So the lifestyle, I really embraced the lifestyle of a homosexual. And but all of that changed, brothers and sisters. The same people who unknowingly exposed me to sexual wrongdoing were the same people who brought me to Christ. Because in 1994, brothers and sisters, my parents became members of Couples for Christ, and eventually they invited me to Singles for Christ. So that talk number 4, repentance and faith, was a very, very important and life-changing talk for me. That was the time that I had a boyfriend, which I gave up. I burned all my pornographic movies and magazines. I was convicted that homosexuality, the lifestyle, is wrong, and in the eyes of God and the eyes of man, it's really wrong. And the whole time that I was serving Singles for Christ was the best time of my life. I practically ate, drank, breathed, and lived Singles for Christ. It was so beautiful. Serving God, I served God through missions. I served God through leading Praise Fest, by becoming household head and eventually a unit head. It was a beautiful life for 7 years. In marriage, there's what they call the 7-year itch. I had that 7-year itch in my relationship with Christ because I was lured again by the devil. They said, I heard my leaders say, or some of my friends say, that when you are, serving God really, really, really well, that's a time that you'll get hit again. And I was tested. So I was offered by I accepted a very well-paying job, and that job took me out from Singles for Christ because I worked from 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. So that leaves me 4 hours of sleep and then going back to work. But I earned well. And I was exposed to people who were very worldly. Okay? And then that was the time that then I decided to leave SFC. Not only because of the work, but also because of the enticement of the world was feeding me once again. So, without even saying goodbye, I was unit head back then. I left Singles for Christ, I left my household, and without, just leaving them just like that, abandoning them. And then I came back after a year, but this time with a double life. I had a boyfriend while serving Singles for Christ. I was very active homosexual while serving Singles for Christ. And I somehow hid that life. I was open to my leaders, but then I was half open. I did not really tell the full truth. Okay? I was actually living in with my boyfriend while having household downstairs. So, it was a sad life, brothers and sisters. This kind of life was... But during that time, I wasn't really feeling any guilt because I believed what Satan... I saw the deception that Satan was feeding us, and I applied it to myself, that what Satan was telling me, that okay, you're serving God, that's good, and then you're living a homosexual life, it's good. Okay, so you're living a balanced life because you're paying for your sins. So by serving God, so this was the lie that Satan was telling me, and he said, wala ka naman sinasaktang ibang tao, you're serving God nga eh, so you're not hurting anybody, and because you're a good person, no? But then these lies, I believe what Father said a while ago, and these lies, I lived these lies in my life, and this made my heart callous and numb. Okay, I still continued with the lifestyle. Okay, and when 2004 came, I went to Bahrain to work. You know, in the Gulf, in the Middle East, if I was promiscuous, so were Arab men. Okay, so my lifestyle became international. But then, Singles for Christ still welcomed me because I looked for Singles for Christ. I did not want to leave the community. I don't know for what reason, but the Lord doesn't want to leave the community. Okay? But then, even though I was still living a double life, I had, in one of my prayer time, I asked the Lord, Lord, where am I going? Where is this leading me to? Why, despite of your great love for me, I'm still hurting you this way? Why, after 17 or 15 long years that I'm serving you, I'm still like this? Why can't I be like the man that you want me to be? So I had a bargain with the Lord. Lord, if you allowed me to love men, why can't you allow me or make me capable of loving a woman? So brothers and sisters, that was the deciding factor for me to change. I really wanted to change. I don't want to run in circles anymore. I was tired. Ganun pala yun, brothers and sisters, if you turn 40, you think eternal. You think, where is my life going to? So, I don't know, but during that time, when I asked the Lord that one, He just waited for me to decide, and I decided, I want to change. During one of the dedication ceremonies of one of our CLPs, I met a sister. I got attracted once again. Kasi brothers and sisters, ayoko naman talaga maging ganito. Also my life, I dreamed and wished to have a family of my own. I really wanted to have a child, to have children running around, look like me. And I wanted to obey the Lord's command to procreate. Humayo kayo at magpakarami. I wanted to follow that command of the Lord. And with that seed that was planted in me since I was young, God honored that. God honored that wish, God honored that by letting that sister become my Gigi. And that was how many months ago? And that sister, brothers and sisters, is a single mom. She's a single mom. And a few weeks back, a week back, no? Actually, brothers and sisters, we are already engaged to be married this year. It's coming December. And being a single mom, I already met my future daughter, who fondly calls me Papa Mori. She's a beautiful, intelligent, and smart 3-year-old kid. And I just can't wait to be with her and her mom for the rest of my life. So brothers and sisters, I love you too. This life is a very beautiful life, brothers and sisters, because I believe that the Lord, as long as you surrender your life to the Lord, accept the truth about who you are, and reject the lies of Satan, you will be released from that. You will have that freedom, which I am now enjoying. And I'm looking forward to spend the rest of my life with my future wife. And I commit myself and I stand, brothers and sisters, for me to build a house, a home, which is 100% pure, with no porn, no smoking, no drinking. I commit myself and my wife, and we will stand to build a home that will bring people to Christ. We will stand to build a home that will raise families for Christ. For that, brothers and sisters, I praise and thank the Lord.
Okay, a big hand for Muriel. Palakpakan natin siya, no? Thank you, Muriel, for your courage and struggle. Now, my dear friends, some of you, sister, she's already taken, okay? Ano yan? Siya ba yun? Yung ito ba yun? I'm sorry. Akala ko may umaagaw. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so, second consequences of this deceit is the wrong notion of right. So when the devil tempts you into the deceit that there is no such thing as the truth, the second consequence is that there is the wrong notion of right. There was this story of a man. A man was driving on the street, and while he was driving, he was texting. And while he was texting, there was a big truck coming at the left side of his car. Okay? So, nagkaroon ng aksidente, no? Total wreck yung kotse niya, no? From that truck who hit him at the left side of his car, no? Dinala siya sa ospital, no? And then when he went to the hospital, his wife came. Sabi niya, "Doc, how is my husband?" Sabi nung doctor sa kanya, "I'm sorry, ma'am, no? But the truck was very fast. Who came from the left was very fast. So he lost his left eye, he lost his left ear, he lost his left arm and left leg. But now he's all right." Parang may hindi nakakuha na naman. Okay, paki-explain na lang, ha? You know, when I have to explain my jokes, nakakatakot yan. Okay, no? The wrong notion of right, no? Now, what is a right, no? If you look at this cartoon, no? Masabi dito, a pornographer, someone who practices euthanasia, and someone who practices gang violence, sabi ng police, "Sorry, we didn't mean to violate your fundamental rights." And then, sino ngayon ang may kinukulong? Yung pare, no, na lumalaban sa pornography, yung isang lalaki who is against abortion, sila na ngayon ay kinukulong. At anong sabi? Stop violating other people's rights. When the RH bill passes, this will happen. Section 21 of the RH bill, no, there is a provision there that anyone who speaks against the RH bill will be put to jail. Kaya kapag pumasa po yung RH bill, dalawin nyo na lang ako sa kulungan. Okay? No? Because I will be violating other people's rights. No? Now, what I am saying is this, no? Right is not simply what I like or what I want. We now live in a world where what I want and what I like, I call it my right. No? We have rights only to that which is right. No, kaya nga right ang tawag eh. We cannot have a right to something that is wrong. We only have a right to something that is right, to something that is good. And that is why no one can say, I have a right to an abortion. Because abortion is the violation of other people's right. As sabi ko dito, my right ends where another person's rights begin. Ano yung laging sinasabi ng mga pro-choice people? This is my body, I have a right to do what I want with my body. But the problem is, there are two bodies now. Your body and the body of the child. And it's a separate person. It's a separate body. My right ends where another person's rights begin. Kaya we cannot claim that our rights are absolute. Pero ganyan yung isinusulong sa atin ng kaaway, no? That right is simply what I want, no? And what I want to do. No? So, what are the other consequences of these deceit traps? What's acceptable is simply a matter of the majority. Kung ano yung sinasabi ng nakararami, yan ang tama. Yan ang acceptable. I was once celebrating Mass, and then I had a lector. No? Yung lector na to masyadong nagpapa-impress. No? Masyado niyang pinagaganda yung kanyang diction. No? And it was Passion Sunday. No? Sabi niya, my dear brothers and sisters, we are about to begin our Holy Mass. Today is Fashion Sunday. Masyado yung nagpapakita, no? Today is Fashion Sunday, no? Sa halip na Passion Sunday, no? Pero ano nga ba yung fashion? Fashion is what everybody does, di ba? No? Kapag nauso ang ganitong kulay, lahat tayo ganun ang suot. No? Kapag nauso ang ganitong klaseng dress, lahat tayo ganun ang sinusuot. No? Fashion is founded on the belief that what everybody does is acceptable. Unfortunately, that does not apply when it comes to morality. Fulton J. Sheen said something very beautiful. Sabi niya, truth is truth even if no one believes it. And error is error even if everybody believes it. I repeat, sabi niya, error is error even if everybody believes it. And truth is truth even if no one believes it. My dear friends, good is not a matter of a majority vote. Remember, it was a majority who voted Christ to be crucified on the cross. So, ang kagbutihan, hindi yan nadadaan sa paramihan. Because goodness is founded on the truth of Christ. Yung inyong motto, I stand. Even if you're the only person standing, stand up for it. Because the truth is truth, even if no one wants to believe it. That is another deceit of the devil. No? That what's acceptable is a matter of majority. Practical materialism. Having over being. Ano yung having over being? We want to accumulate and accumulate. No? We believe that we are only persons of worth kapag marami akong pera. Kapag marami akong property. And therefore, God calls us to a spirit of detachment. No? I prepared here a video. No? I don't know if it will work this time, no? Okay? I don't know if it will work this time, but let's try, no? Let's try, no? This video is about a woman, no? Who wanted to detach herself from her possessions. Now, this is a skit of a woman talking to God in her prayer, no? Listen very well, no? The name of the woman is Kimberly Han, no? The wife of Dr. Scott Han, no? Okay, so let's listen to this video and hopefully the video will work. Okay? Sige, let's...
Now, I'm going to be assistant here. We're going to do a little skit. Okay, just get my props out here. I'm a person in prayer, and the voice you hear is the voice of God. Lord, I want to give myself to you in a new way. I want to give you everything.
Everything?
Everything, Lord. By the way, would you like a donation?
Sure. Some cash?
Yeah, I've got about $20.
Is this all you have?
No, I have a little more.
I want all your cash.
You want all my cash? Well, oh, okay, it's a good thing I have a checkbook.
Checkbook? You have a checkbook?
Yes, I have a checkbook. Do you want my checkbook too?
Didn't you say everything?
Well, yes, I did. I did say everything. It's a good thing I have credit cards.
Credit cards?
You want, God needs my credit cards?
You did say everything.
Well, I meant all, but if I give you my credit cards, how will I have any money to care for my children?
You have children? May I see a photo?
Sure, they're beautiful. Yeah.
They're lovely.
Thank you.
Will you give me your children?
You want my children?
You did say everything, didn't you?
Yes, but how will I ever tell my husband that I gave you my children?
You have a husband?
You want my husband? I'm going to be very lonely in my house without my husband and my children.
So you have a house?
God doesn't have a body. Why does he need a house?
You did say you wanted to give me everything, right?
Yes, I did. Okay, I'll give you the key to my house.
What are those other keys for?
I have a couple of cars and an office.
Did you mean what you said?
Yes, I meant everything. I did. I meant everything. You can have my keys.
Is there anything else?
No, that's everything. There's nothing else.
Good. Now, I have a man. He needs a good wife to take care of him. Will you take care of this man for me?
Yes, I will take very good care of him, Lord.
Don't forget he's mine.
Yes, Lord, I'll remember he belongs to you.
I also have some children. They are my children, mind you, who need good parents. Will you care for my children?
Yes, Lord, I will take very good care of your children.
You won't forget they are my children.
Yes, Lord, I won't forget.
You'll need a home for shelter for this family.
Yes.
My family.
Yes.
So here's the key to my home. Will you take care of my home for me?
Yes, Lord, I will take care of your home.
You'll need transportation to take care of my family. So here are the keys to 2 cars.
Oh.
But never forget they are my cars.
Yes, Lord, I will take care of your cars.
And you'll need some financial resources to feed and clothe and care for these people, my people. So here's some cash, a checkbook, and some credit cards. Never forget, though, this is my money to be spent in a way that honors me. Use it wisely.
Yes, I will, Lord. Thank you so much. I'll be a good steward of everything you've given me.
I know you will. Bless you, daughter. I love you.
You know, that is our greatest temptation. Sometimes we are afraid to give up to the Lord. Why? Because we feel that when the Lord takes away, He will not give it back. But when the Lord seems to take away, the first thing that God does is He only wants to change our attitude with those possessions. And when we already have the right attitude, it is there that God will give us back what He took. Or if not, He will replace it with something much better. Yes, you can clap your hands. You know, when I was young, sabagay, bata pa naman ako ngayon, no? I used to play pari-parian. Nagpapari-parian po ako, no? Kumukuha ako ng lamesa, tinatakpan ko ng kurtina, And then yung mga kapatid ko, pinapabili ko ng Coke at Fita. No? And then yun ang aking bread and wine. No? And then yung aking mga kapatid, mga pinsan ko, sila yung aking parishioners. No? And then ako yung pare. No? Unahan yan sa komunyon. No? Wala bang communion time, nakapila na sila. Pari-parian. I don't know kung ano ang nilaro ninyo. Maybe you played bahay-bahayan, maybe you played doktor-doktoran, tatay-tatayan. No? Pero, look at this. Why do we call this play pari-parian? Or tatay-tatayan? Or nanay-nanayan? Because it's only temporary. It's only a play. After your play, you are no longer a tatay, you are no longer a nanay, wala ka ng bahay. I think that is also the reason why we call our possessions ari-arian. Diba? Why? Because our ari-arian is only temporary. Wala tayong ari-arian. I mean, wala tayong pag-aari. Ari-arian meron. No, even the life that we have right now belongs to God. And a time will come when we have to surrender it. Why? Because it is only an ari-arian. I would like to call on stage another friend of ours who also had a similar struggle. But just like our brother Murgel was victorious over that struggle. My dear friends, help me welcome on stage our brother Godo Miranda.
Thank you, Father. Good evening, brothers and sisters. I'm Godo Miranda from West A, serving as the PFO sector head and also a unit head of West A1C. Father told us about the possessions in life, and so these are the things that I valued most. The different possessions in life. Achievements, fame, power, money. These are the things that I want to have in my life. It started when my father died when I was 5 years old. Anyway, nung namatay siya, iniwanan niya ng 7 anak yung nanay ko. And that's one of them is ako yung no. We're alphabetically arranged. Wow, ang ganda, ang galing ng tatay ko. Alphabetically arranged yung pangalan namin. He thought that kaya niya hanggang letter Z yung pangalan namin. So it was Agnes, Blesila, Cecilia, Dindo, Eva, Fernan, and me, Godorico. Ang gaganda ng pangalan nila. Ako, napakabantot ng pangalan na binigay sa akin. Now, people are calling me Godo. Wow, ang ganda. So, yeah, that's the story of our names. Kaya lang, unfortunately, my father died. Hindi niya nabuo yung alphabet. Hanggang G lang yung nagawa niya. And that's, ako nga yung huli. And sa sobrang bantot ng pangalan ko, yung mga kapatid ko, naging mas mabaho naman pala yung buhay nila kaysa sa akin. And you know what? Nung namatay yung tatay ko, wala ni 5 duling na naiwan for his family, no? Then my mother decided to go abroad. Pero grade 3 lang yung natapos niya. So what do you expect yung magiging work niya doon? Secretary, corporate, doon ba siya mapupunta? So no. She worked there as a domestic helper sa Kuwait. Then, unfortunately, nagkaroon ng gera noong 1991, umuwi siya dito, wala rin siyang nauwi kahit ano. But then during the time that my mother was in that place, yung brother ko, si letter F, yung Fernan, he had a bone cancer. The most painful and yung pinakamahirap na cancer that a person can have. No, ito yung body natin, no? We walk straight, pero siya, naglalakad siya nung nakaganyan kasi nauupod na yung bone niya at the back. Then yung letter E, my sister, because of the maltreatment that she's receiving from our relatives, parang teleserye yung kwento. Because of that maltreatment, At the age of 16, nagtanan siya. Sumama siya sa isang pedicab driver. So what do you expect yung magiging buhay niya? And then yung letter D, si Dindo, hindi siya nakagraduate din ng high school. Why? Every day of his life, may nagpupunta sa aming parents. They're complaining na may ginulpi daw yung kapatid ko. There are some policemen nagpupunta doon. Natatay pala nung ginulpi niya. That's almost every day. So anong ginawa sa kanya? Pinabalik siya dito sa Bicol. All of us were born in Bicol, sa Donsol, Sorsogon. Doon siya tumira. Then yung letter E, because may letter C. Letter C, wow, si Cecilia. She's a very bright student during the time na nandito siya sa Bicol. Laging honor student until she graduated from grade 6. Pero binigay siya sa isang relative namin na well off. She stayed there sa Angeles, Pampanga para magkaroon daw ng magandang future. Doon na siya binigay hanggang sa mag-aral ng high school, college, hanggang... But now, kasama na namin siya. Then yung letter B, it's Blasila. She don't know where to go. She's finding what's the meaning of the life that was given to her by going into different religions. She's a Catholic, then go to born-again Christian, then go to Iglesia ni Cristo, then go back to Catholic, then go to Iglesia ni Cristo. And finally, she's in Iglesia ni Cristo. Kasi yung nag-alaga sa kanya and yung relative din namin, Iglesia ni Cristo. So yung kami magkakapatid, pinaghiwa-hiwalay na kami sa iba-ibang mga relatives namin. Then the eldest, si Agnes, the same history or the same story of life na meron yung nanay ko, yun yung nakuha niya. Yung 12 years niyang boyfriend, then nagtanan pa sila kasi ayaw nung mga relatives namin na mag-asawa siya. And I also saw it that there's one instance that sinusok yung mukha niya doon sa nilalaban niyang mga damit. Parang teleserye talaga, no? Then, you know what? Same story. Meron siyang mga anak, 3. Then, mas mahaba pa yung relationship nila na mag-boyfriend sila, 12 years. Then, after 8 years of their married life, namatay yung husband niya. Meron siyang anak na 3. Then, you know what? Ako naman. Yun. So, at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, I've been seeing those experiences of my siblings. So ako, anong ginagawa ko? Just for me, para may makain, maghahanap ako sa basurahan ng tirang burger, may tirang chicken, pero hindi halata naman sa katawan ko na makain pala ako ng basura. So yun ang ginagawa ko. I even go to a small store, you know Lala, yung chocolate? Mangungupit ako noon para lang makakain ako ng candy. So yun yung ginagawa ko. And then, sabi ko, with those painful, bad experience, problems, and obstacles in life that we've encountered, sabi ko, then I question God. Nasaan ka? Wow. From my eldest, from my ate hanggang sa akin, ito yung na-experience namin. So what do you expect? Will I ask God? So I'm questioning, I'm doubting of His existence. So that's the start of all these things na I valued. What I want in life is to have money, to have power, to have achievements, and to have everything in my life. Nag-start ako ng elementary, ganun na yung kinalakihan ko. Wow, I'm the most or the best in conduct in our classroom. Parati yun. I'm an honor student. best in conduct pero sa labas kung ano-ano pinaggagawa ko. Honor student pero hindi nila alam eto pala ako. No? Sabi ko, why? What for? For me to be known. Wow, that's all I want. Sumali ko ng different organizations. High school, the same thing. No, I joined COCC. And in public school, syempre ang COCC may hazing. Hindi ako umuwi ng bahay namin na nakahubad o hindi ako makapaghubad ng t-shirt kasi maraming pasa yung katawan ko. So makikita ng nanay ko yun. I joined COCC. Why? For me to become an officer of CAT. Bakit? Pag CAT officer ka, anong gagawin ng mga students, yung mga fourth year students? Pag nakita ka, saludo agad. Magsa-sidewalk pa. May kasama kang teacher, may kasabay ka. Nakalimutan nila may teacher. Bakit? Mas takot sa CAT officer sa mga estudyante than the teacher. Wow! It's flattering. I'm respected than my teachers. Then, college. Paano ako magka-college? Walang nagpapaaral sa mga kapatid ko. I look for my own scholarship. I look for my own school. I look for my own baon for every day in my life. Yun ang ginawa ko para makapag-aral. It was already May. In a state university, meron pang tumanggap sa akin. Bakit? I failed the exam, pero sabi nila, you know what? You're just an honor student. That's why we accepted you. Wow, ang sarap, no? Wow, I'm an honor student. That's why they accepted me. So yun yung alam ko sa buhay. Pagdating ko ng college, then I joined also different organizations. No, I joined yung choral group in the university. Then I became the president of that university. I joined the student council. I ran for that position. So yun yung mga ginagawa ko during college. I had my birthday concert at Paco Park. My mom is very proud. Yung anak ko, panoorin niyo sa TV, mapapanood niyo siya. Wow, so flattering again on my part. Kasi pinamamalita ng nanay ko in the whole community sa lugar namin, yung anak ko mapapanood sa TV. Lahat ng theater dito sa Pilipinas, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, we perform in all the big theaters. Wow, ang sarap ng feeling. After college, what's next? I look for a good institution that can give me a good compensation. Yun din ang ginagawa ko. And not only that, I joined our organization in church, civic organization. I became the youth ministry coordinator. I became an officers of different organization. Who's Knights of Columbus here? 4th degree na ako ng Knights of Columbus. Youth counselor. Wow, sinalihan ko lahat yon. I joined the Caritas. When the Caritas Caloocan established in our diocese, I joined that para para makilala ako sa buong diocese. Because that's what I want, to be known. So yun ang ginagawa ko. You know what? During 2003, when I joined the Singles for Christ, hindi pa yun, walang nagbago sa akin. Because during that time, when our unit head, now our chapter head, invited me to join, or actually, we're not invited to join the Singles for Christ, but we presented ourselves together with my officers and members of the youth ministry. We will join the Singles for Christ, your CLP, but just to finish and join your group. But our priority still is the youth ministry and my other organization. So, ang yabang ko pa. Because I'm the boss of this church in terms of youth activities. So yun yung sabi ko sa kanya. Then after CLP, so December 6 kami gumraduate ng CLP 2003. After CLP, he invited me to join the Icon. I refused. Marami kaming gagawin. And after a year, he invited me again to join the Icon. Still, I have a second thought of joining or not that Icon. You know what? What parang encouraged me to join the Icon? Sabi ko, subukan ko kaya anyway. It's my first time. It's my first time. Not for the Icon, but to go to Boracay. Why? I'm excited. Sino yung mga nagpunta ng Boracay? Yan. I'm excited. I'm very excited to go to Boracay. Sabi ko, wow. So sige, sasama ako dyan. It's because of Boracay. Yun lang yung reason ko. Bakit ako sasama sa Icon? Because of Boracay. Then, you know what? Pagdating ko sa Boracay, kumuha ako ng cottage, my own accommodation in front of the beach. Ako lang. Wow. Saya, di ba? Dahil sa sobrang excitement ko doon sa Boracay, kumuha ko ng sarili. Hindi ako sumama doon sa mga tent. Di ba? Uso pa ang tent city noon. So I didn't join them. Wow. Mag-enjoy ako sa Boracay. But you know what? The very first night, it was Friday. During the talk, I cried a lot. Naubos ko na lahat. And I even texted my boss, thanks for allowing me to go for this Singles for Christ activity. I texted him that night. Then I cried a lot. Naubos ko lahat ng luha ko without talking to anyone. So wala akong kinakausap na kahit sino doon. But then I just cried and cried. Tapos, you know what? Even it's the launching also of 100% pure. For me, it's not only about sexuality or sex thing, but it's the purity of one's heart. It's the purity of one's life. And that's the turning point of my life. That Icon. And do you believe, brothers and sisters, that this Icon, that chair, kung saan kayo nakaupo, was already planned for you? Do you believe on that, brothers and sisters? Thank you. You know what? That's the turning point of my life. Now, what am I doing? Returning back all the glories, the blessings, the graces that was God given me. I do make sure that I sponsored 1 or 2 members of the community in the Icon, in the conferences. I even look for members in the community or in our society na hindi nakapag-aral, because for me education is very important. I look for a scholarship that can help our brothers and sisters in the community para makapag-college. Now, yung mga pamangkin ko, ako yung nagpaaral sa kanila for them to have a good education also sa college. Now, before, wala kaming bahay, wala kami kahit ano. But now, I was given my own apartment. Lahat puro blessings na yung dumating sa amin. Yung kapatid ko, thank God, hindi siya namatay. Yung si letter F, yung may cancer. Yung letter D, hindi nakapag-aral. Mas marami pa siyang apartment. Ginaya ko lang siya. Yung kapatid ko na laging honor student, siya lang din yung ginaya ko. You know what? I thank God. I thank all the leaders in the community na laging pumipilit sa amin na sumama ka ng Icon, na sumama ka ng conferences. It's all because of them. It's all because of the community. Ang laki ng tulong ng community nito in the changes of my life. And I know, brothers and sisters, there's a reason why you're here. There's a purpose why you're here. Also to assist and guide in changing the life of other brothers and sisters in the community. With that, brothers and sisters, may God be praised.